Today we're going to talk about driving the elbow, and let's take a little bit of inspiration from Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan would talk about this sort of ball toss analogy. He would talk a lot about driving elbows, and in golf instruction sometimes students that I meet, they get a little bit lost in between the idea of, I've seen videos on throwing the club, I've seen videos on driving the elbow, which one should it be? And I'm hoping that this video adds an element of clarity as to what you should be doing. I'm going to use this is just a little sort of put together pointer, and I'm going to place it in today's video on my upper arm, okay? And it's going to face in line with my forearm and my upper arm, so obviously at the moment it's facing towards you guys. What happens in the backswing position is we produce a movement which is known as external rotation. So you can see the way my upper arm moves my arm to the side of my body like so. Then we swing up to the top. I obviously maintain that external rotation, if not increase it ever so slightly. So if I was to produce a backswing position, you can see where the pointer is pointing, hopefully like so. It's up towards the sky. Now what needs to happen in the downswing is I need to move my upper arm to the side of my body whilst maintaining external rotation as I'm demonstrating. This is the key thing. This is what Hogan and all those golfers, this is what a shallowing motion is. This is what you need. Now, where there can be a little bit of uncertainty though, is this movement exists for every golfer. Where there can be a little bit of uncertainty is this one. So if my upper arm and I drive my elbow, the question then is, how bent should your arm be? Should it be this bent? Should it be this bent? Should it be this straight, etc.? Now, the answer to this is dependent on your rotation. So if I was going to introduce my plane tool here, okay, a Swing Buddy plane tool, like so. Now, if I produce a backswing position, I'm going to do it right hand only, okay, like so. If I produce a downswing where I have minimal rotation, so I only bring my hips back to square and I keep my shoulders square at the point of impact, then what you can notice is my upper arm still moves to the side of the body as I've demonstrated. What has to happen is my right arm needs to stay, I've moved a little bit further away, right arm needs to stay this bent to keep the club on plane. You see, like so. Now if I introduce rotation, so I turn my hips like so to 45 degrees, you can see where it's moved the club. And that's why then my right arm would need to straighten. And I think this is important because, for example, there's an example coming up on the screen of someone who came to visit for a lesson who has been working a lot on hip rotation in the downswing because he thought he was standing up that was causing the problem. But it wasn't. You see, what was happening with this golfer is they were sort of swinging the club back, and then as they were coming into the downswing, they were straightening the arm. And if you straighten the arm, it drops the club under plane. All this golfer needed to do was move the upper arm more to the side of the body, and it brings the club down the plane. And this is where I tend to see a lot of misconceptions. So on that note, hopefully this video helps add an element of clarity whether you should drive or straighten. Also, if you're interested in working together, head over to the website restleverageGolf.com, and finally, it's really worth watching the Swing Builder program that I've put together. You can access that for absolutely free on the website as well. That breaks this stuff down in a real step-by-step fashion. See you soon.